Our next speaker, Pam Weatherford, is the founder of D3 Seminars. It's a training company dedicated to working with companies and individuals to help them discover, design, and do their ideal life. Hence the D3. She's a professional member of National Speakers Association. Has just completed her first book, Mum and Me, Old Recipes Made New. Please welcome Pam Weatherford.
I meet people all the time who want more out of life, and yet most of them don't know how to get there. So I'm really glad you're here tonight because I'm going to take you on a journey to create your ideal life. Now, as I've been on my own journey, I've learned a few things along the way. The first thing I've learned about your ideal life is that it has to be your ideal life. People mean well when they tell you to go this direction or do this or do that. But I think Steve Jobs said it best when he said, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. I've also learned that life is a journey. It's not a destination. Sometimes we get so caught up in our long-term goals and the end result that we forget to stop and just embrace all the blessings that we get every single day. So take a moment to enjoy each day and the blessings that we're given. Another thing I've learned about your ideal life is that to get from here to your ideal life, you're going to have to make some changes. I meet people all the time who want more. They don't want to change anything. So you've got to suck it up and be able to make the changes that it takes to reach your ideal life. I've also learned that your ideal life is going to happen at the right time. Your journey has molded you for the greater good, and it was exactly what it needed to be. Don't think you've wasted time. It took each and every situation you've encountered to bring you to the now, and now is right on time. I believe if you're here tonight, it's because your time is right on time. And I think the only thing holding you back from your ideal life is you. We all have that inner critic who says, you can't, you shouldn't, you're not good enough. What if you turned that around and said, I can do it, I should do it, and I am good enough? The first step to discovering and creating your ideal life is to discover. So tonight we're going to take a look at 9 major areas of your life. And as I talk about these areas, I want you to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10. So a 1 is, my life sucks right now. And a 10 is, I'm already living my ideal life. So you ready? First is your career. How many of you have a career that makes you jump out of bed with excitement every morning? Or do you pull the covers over your head and hit the snooze button 5 or 6 times? Studies show that 55% of Americans don't like their job. So rate yours on a scale of 1 to 10. Next up is your finances. Now, you don't have to be rich to have an ideal life, although you certainly can. But how are your finances? Do you have any money in the bank or a plan to get some? Or are you living with a few pennies in your change purse? Rate your finances from 1 to 10. This next slide is one of my favorites, and this is my family. My family and my husband's family, my wedding a few years ago. And these truly are the best people in my life. I love being around them, especially around the holidays. How do you feel about your family? Are they in-laws or are they outlaws? How would you rate them on a scale of 1 to 10? Next up is friends. This is my friend Ellen. We've been friends for almost 20 years now. And they say that people that have close friends live longer, they're happier, and they're healthier. And yet the average American only has 2 close friends. So if you were to rate your friendships on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate? Next up is your spouse. And I love this saying that says, don't marry the person you think you can live with, marry the person you can't live without. Is your spouse or significant other the person you can't live without? And if not, what can you do to change that relationship? Rate your spouse on a scale of 1 to 10. What about your emotional health? Are you calm, cool, and collected? Or are you a hot mess of emotions? They say that stress is the silent killer. It can cause long-term health effects like cancer and heart disease and diabetes and all kinds of problems. So how would you rate your emotional health from 1 to 10? What about your physical health? Are you a workoutaholic? Or do you only get exercise by lifting a donut to your mouth? Now, you don't have to run a marathon to be in good physical health, but you ought to start somewhere. So how would you rate your physical health from 1 to 10? Now, whether you recognize it or not, the spiritual life is an important part of living an ideal life. I believe that God has wired each of us for a longing and desire to know Him better. And 1 Thessalonians 5:17 says simply, pray continually. So if you were to rate your spiritual life, how would that rate on a scale of 1 to 10? Last but not least, leisure time. People that are living their ideal life make time for leisure. So whether you're like this guy laying in a tree, reading a book with your dog, or you're vacationing in Fiji, leisure time gives you the opportunity to rejuvenate and rest. So make time for leisure. How would you rate yours now? Now the second step in creating your ideal life is design. Your ideal life is not going to happen by accident, and hope is not a strategy. So what I want you to do is take just a couple of those areas of your life where you want to make some improvements, and the sky's the limit. How would you design your ideal life? What would it look like? The third step is to do something about it. So write down 1 or 2 action steps that you can take this week to start moving towards your ideal life. The important thing is that you take life one step at a time, but be sure to take that first step. Let's take a moment to reflect. What have you discovered tonight about your life and about your ideal life? How can you design it into your life? And then what are you going to do about it? It is my prayer that each of you can discover, design, and do your ideal life. And it's my prayer that you'll get there. My name is Pam Weatherford. I am a speaker, trainer, and coach. And I'd love to help you on this journey. So if I can help you in any way with discovering, designing, and doing your ideal life, I'd love to hear from you. Again, it's my prayer that you reach that, and I am so thankful to be here tonight to share with you.